everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and today's video is going to be a bank holiday weekend reading vlog. So there's kind of a theme for this reading vlog. I'm going to aim to read some Fairyloot books and then I've also got a library book as well to read. So the first Fairyloot book on my TBR for this weekend is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. Now I read the In the Cerulean Sea by this author a couple of years ago and I didn't really enjoy it as much as everyone else did. I thought it was a sort of 3-star read and I'm only really giving this one a go because it came in a Fairyloot. I don't know too much about it, so I'll just read out the synopsis from the book. In a small home built into the branches of a tree live a human named Victor and 3 robots. These are a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, a small vacuum desperate for love and attention, and a fatherly inventor android named Giovanni Lawson. Together they are a family hidden and safe. Then Vic salvages an unfamiliar android labelled Hap. He learns that Hap and Geo share a dark past where they hunted humans, and Hap unwittingly gives away Geo's location. Before they know it, robots from Geo's former life arrive to capture and return the android to his old laboratory in the City of Electric Dreams. The rest of the unconventional family must travel across an unforgiving and otherworldly country to rescue Geo from decommissioning, or worse, reprogramming. Along the way, Vic must decide if he can handle his feelings for Hap, even if they come with strings attached. Okay, that doesn't really sound like my thing, but I'll give it a go. I mean, the end pages are stunning. I mean, the cover is stunning. It's a Fairyloot one, so of course it is. But yeah, I'll give that one a go and see what I think. I can always DNF it if needed. And then the second book I'm going to hope to read this weekend is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've not read an Abby Jimenez book before, but I know that she's a really popular romance author, so I'm really keen to give her a try. I don't know too much about this one either, so I'll just read out the back of this one as well. So it says, after a wild bet, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. The complete opposite of the sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. Sounds good. I don't think I'll read the rest because I don't want to know too much when I go in. So there we go. Those are the first 2 books I'm hoping to read this weekend. If I get round to another one, I'll let you know the synopsis as and when I pick it up. And I just quickly unbox my adult Fairyloot. So I have now unsubscribed to the YA box because I just wasn't getting on with it and it was getting quite expensive to not really be enjoying them. So the theme for this one is cottagecore. So let's have a look. Oh wow, that is stunning. Look, that's so pretty. Oh my god. Oh wow. Look at that. God, even the end pages are like embossed. Oh my god, I hope I like this one. That is stunning. Okay, right. Marigold Claude has always preferred the company of the spirits of the meadow to any of the suitors who have tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the family cottage on the tiny isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next honey witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the honey witch. When Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic who doesn't believe in magic, shows up on her doorstep, Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real. But soon Marigold begins to care for Lottie in ways she never expected, and when darker magic awakens and threatens to destroy her home, she must fight for much more than her new home, and at the risk of losing her magic and her heart. Oh, that sounds so cute! Oh my god, I love that! Oh my god, I really want to read this one. There we go. So that is, I think that's the May 2024 box, that one. Stunning. Right, so I'll check back in with you guys when I've got my first reading update. So I'm back quite quickly after introducing this vlog with an update. I am DNFing In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I just don't think this author is for me. I mean, the synopsis wasn't really my kind of vibe. I thought this when I unboxed this book back in last year when it came. I read the synopsis and I just thought this doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. And as it's an author that I have been disappointed by before, I'm not really surprised at DNF in this. I read the first maybe sort of 50-ish pages and I just thought, I just don't really care for these characters. The robot nurse I thought was quite funny at first, and then the jokes got very tedious very quickly. And I mean, I know where this is going. I've read the synopsis, but I just don't really care. I just really don't care. This is not for me, and that's okay. Sometimes we just don't vibe with authors, and I just think this kind of like cozy fantasy sort of genre is not my cup of tea. I really do enjoy like my really hard, heavy fantasy, like Brandon Sanderson, Joe Abercrombie. I'm much more into that kind of vibe, not really into this sort of cozy fantasy. If I want like a cozy read, I'll read like a romance. You know, this is not for me. It's not for me. And yeah, going to be DNF in this one. So what a great start. But I am going to instead be picking up The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramis. Now, I have read the synopsis for this one, and this does sound like my cup of tea. So, as spy master to the Queen, Aya's blood oath ensures she protects those she fights alongside, including Will, the Queen's enforcer and Aya's bitter rival. When rumours of dark magic rise in a nearby kingdom, both are sent to investigate. But when Aya's power acts beyond her god's-given affinity, she risks being turned into a weapon in a war she doesn't know how to win. And when her relationship with Will unexpectedly shifts, neither knows the danger that will follow. I mean, that does sound like my cup of tea. I mean, she's literally holding a knife on the cover, so love that for her. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a go, see how we get on, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't want to DNF, I just don't want to spend this vlog DNFing books, okay? Like, come on, Fairyloot, please. Hey guys, it's now Saturday morning, and I just thought I'd come in and give you a quick reading update on The Curse of Saints. It's in my book sleeve, so you can't see it. But I'm about 170 pages in, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. I find the relationships between the kingdoms quite interesting. How we've got this one kingdom that's sort of under an embargo. No one trades with them, no one talks to them because of something that happened quite a few years previously. So that's really interesting, and I think we're going to explore more of that now that our characters are travelling to another kingdom to kind of get them on their side and potentially go to war. I don't know how this is going to play out. I'm not really sure how I feel about the relationship between our two main characters. It's definitely going to sort of be a enemies to lovers romance. I can see that coming because right now they can't really stand each other. I mean, to be fair, she did try and kill Will using her powers in a previous, well, not in a previous book, but like prior to the book. So like, I get why he doesn't like her, but then like he obviously does like have feelings for her because he like loves winding her up and whatnot. Now, if that was me and someone tried to kill me, like there would be no contact, like no way. But no, he clearly doesn't feel that way. But yeah, I'm also a bit tired. This is just a little nitpicky thing, but he keeps calling her Aya love. Now, I'm Bristolian and like I read it as higher love. Like, I don't know, because it's Aya love, like I don't know, it just, that's a really nitpicky thing, but like he doesn't ever just call her Aya, it's always Aya love, and it, I don't know, that's just me, like, yeah. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. The rest of the plans for today are literally just reading. I've had to run a few errands this morning and, you know, do a bit around the house and stuff. Really interesting news, our washing machine's broken. By the time you're watching this, hopefully it'll be finished, but you know, that's another thing to just add to the list. But yeah, so all the housework, everything's done, it's just reading now. So I'm going to read a bit more of The Curse of Saints, and then I will probably switch over maybe this evening to Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, just to like have a bit of a break and I don't, you know, get too, yeah, just to read something a bit different really, actually. So yeah, that is my update so far. I'll check back in with you when I am a bit further through this book. Hey guys, so it's now Saturday afternoon and I've just gotten to page 377 of The Curse of Saints. So I've got about 100 pages left. I have to say, I'm really conflicted on this book. Like, it started out really strong, like the premise was so interesting. We have these different kingdoms and one of the kingdoms is like starting to cause a bit of trouble again after there was a whole thing in the past that hasn't really been explained, but they were sort of embargoed, no kingdom would trade with them, and now they're kind of causing a bit of trouble. So these two people quite high up in the Queen's sort of regard go to another kingdom to get them to help. But then it's like, we've completely veered off of that path And I'm not interested in this plot that we're following. So we're now following these two people in this kingdom. One of them's learning about her affinity, and even that, the affinities aren't really very well explained. Like, they keep mentioning, I've written it down, Anima and Vizia and Sensanos and Percy. What the fuck are they? Like, there's no explanation as to what they are. Like, they keep insinuating, they keep saying about, oh, they're a human. Oh, they're a human, we're not going to do this. So are the magic wielders not human? Like, I'm so confused by this world. There's just no explanation for this magic system, these affinities, how it's all... This, they just mention it, and as if we're supposed to know. I'm just, like, so lost. I'm so confused. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, I just don't care. Like, I'm so confused by what's going on. We've completely lost the plot that we started with. There's like a love triangle as well between one of the girls and the other guy that she came from. I can't even be bothered to explain it. Like, the girl likes the guy that she came with, but she also likes the prince of the new kingdom, and they both like her back, and she can't pick between them. And I'm just kind of like, this is an adult book, and it's reading so YA. Like, the characters are quite immature. Like, there's a point where one of the characters in the other kingdom, her, like, partner goes missing, and then the ones from the original kingdom are supposed to help in the search, and they don't. They decide to break into someone's office instead. And then the princess finds them and is, like, so angry. She's like, you're supposed to be my friend. It's like, girl, you've known them for, like, a week. Like, I'm just getting really annoyed with this book. Like, I'm not having any luck in this reading vlog. Like, I don't know, like, it started so strong. I was so interested in this book. I even said at the start of this video, this synopsis sounds just right up my alley. And it was. And we've completely gone off track. And I've got 100 pages left. And I don't really want to read any more of this tonight, because it's just annoying me. It's really annoying me. So I think I'm going to leave those 100 pages, finish it tomorrow, and I'm going to pick up that Abby Jimenez book, because I want something that don't tell me that's going to disappoint me as well, but I'm so interested in the different kingdoms, and we're just not getting anything. It's all about, like, who this character is going to go out with, and, like, she's, like, discovering her affinity, and, like, I'm so confused by the whole affinity thing. And she's gone to somewhere in the desert and has been, like, kidnapped by these people. And I just, like, I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. And I had no intention of this vlog being, like, a rant vlog of unsuccessful reading attempts. But I'm going to finish this tomorrow because I was so intrigued. And it might still pull itself together. But this was not the book I thought it was going to be. I'm disappointed. I'm annoyed because the synopsis sounded really good. I'm just not having any luck. So I'm now just over 100 pages into Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Guys, I'm loving this one so far. Finally! Let's just hope it doesn't go downhill like the other one. So the book starts with Alexis and Daniel meeting when Alexis's car breaks down in Daniel's town. She's passing through on the way back from a funeral. She swerves to not hit a raccoon and she calls a tow truck, but because it's such a small town, there's literally only one guy and he's drunk at the pub. So Daniel offers to tow her, and then the next chapter, he goes to the pub. She's there to get some food, and his friends place a bet that one of them will go home with her. Because it's such a small town, everyone knows everyone, and because they don't know her, she's like, I don't know, like fresh meat. And Daniel has no part of it. He goes over and speaks to her and, like, warns her about that, and then they end up leaving together, and she says like she's not one for one night stands, and you guessed it, they have a one night stand. She leaves in the middle of the night, and then she decides to contact him to give him back his hoodie because she actually really likes him. Now the only sort of hesitation that she has is that he is 10 years younger than her, and she has just come out of what is insinuated to be an abusive relationship with an older man. So we then learn that her ex-partner Neil, he's 10 years older than her, and it's insinuated and then confirmed that he was like emotionally abusive to her. So he would she has like a bit of a compulsion with like cleanliness, and he would like sort of in the morning like look at her and sort of be like, oh, you've let yourself go a little bit, or like wouldn't talk to her until she put her makeup on. Or with the cleanliness thing, like he would sort of sniff her and be like, oh, you smell really bad, you've like let yourself go. And then it got so bad that she even like got herself checked out at the hospital where she works to see if she had like some sort of like issue with like hormones and stuff, or like a bad breath issue. And no, he's just a dick. And there's a lot of things like that, like he was emotionally abusive towards her. Now, I am loving how supportive her friends are. So her family are assholes. They're all doctors. They loved Neil because he's like a surgeon and she's only an ER doctor, you know, as if like that's not also an amazing thing to be. But to them, it is. So they love Neil. And even though he cheated on her with someone else, they want her to get back with Neil. Neil's like not the son they never had, because they do have a son, but they love Neil. Neil is like the golden child, even though he's not even their child. So they want Alexis to go to counselling with him to get Neil back into the family, basically. So her family are assholes, apart from her twin brother. He's nice. But her friends, even though they're also friends with Neil, they are so supportive. So we've just read a chapter, literally in the last chapter I've read, Alexis is on a run with, I think, is her name Brianna? No, that's someone else. Alexis is on a run with Jessica, and Jessica's talking about her husband Marcus, and they've invited Neil to Marcus's birthday and blah blah. And then Alexis tells Jessica about Neil being abusive, and Jessica immediately is like, no, I believe you, like, of course I believe you. She's just so supportive. And then ends with Neil doesn't live in the home that they share, but Neil decides to move back in, and this is obviously an attempt from him to emotionally manipulate her into getting back with him. But she's going to therapy, she's staying strong. Go Alexis, team Alexis. I love her. And I also love how like Daniel is just so chill. Like Alexis is she's not opened up to him yet about her sort of past with Neil, but she's kind of said like she's not really emotionally available for a relationship right now, and he's just like, cool, we can just hang out, like I just want to spend time with you. And I just think that's like so nice. So yeah, I'm loving this one so far, loving it. And I'm definitely going to carry on with this one this evening, so I'll check back in with you when I've got another update. Hey guys, so it's now Sunday afternoon and I have finished The Curse of Saints. This one is just massively disappointing. I was so excited to read this, like the synopsis sounded so good, and this just fell completely flat. I stand by what I said, I think, in a previous update. This is an adult. It reads like a YA. The characters are so immature. I don't understand how they're so high up in sort of, like, they're not government positions. Like, they're, it's hard to explain, like they're the Queen's enforcer and, like, the second in command and stuff. And it's like, how? Like, you literally act like a 15-year-old. And it's just, yeah, I'm giving this a 2.5. This was a massive disappointment. I'm actually quite, not upset, but yeah, massive disappointment. We're not having much luck with Fairyloot books in this vlog. So saying that, because it is Sunday afternoon, I've still got the rest of the afternoon and all of tomorrow to read. I'm obviously still going to carry on with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I did read a little bit more of that last night, but I don't really have anything extra to add on what I've already said. I am going to pick up another Fairyloot book. I'm going to pick up Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. Don't know too much about this one, so I will just read the synopsis again. Half vampire, half fox spirit, all trouble. Pawned by her mother to the king of hell as a child, Lady Jing is half vampire, half howling fox spirit, and all sasshole. Oh god. As the king's ward, she has spent the past 90 years running errands, dodging the taunts of the spiteful, hewling courtiers, and trying to control her explosive temper with varying levels of success. Swinging overhears the courtiers plotting to steal a priceless dragon pearl from the king, she seizes her chance to expose them once and for all. Okay. With the help of a gentle mortal tasked with setting up the central bank of hell, Ying embarks on a wild chase for intel, first through hell and then mortal Shanghai. But when her hijinks put the mortal in danger, she must decide which is more important, avenging her loss of face or letting go of her half-empty approach to life for a chance to experience tenderness and maybe even love. Adult fantasy debut. Sounds kind of YA. This kind of reminds me of... oh, what was that? I can't remember what it's called. It's only short, so let's give this one a go and see how we think. But yeah, this has not really been a very successful vlog so far, apart from I am enjoying part of your world, so that's something. And you know what, we can't enjoy every book we read, can we? So sometimes things sound really good and then they just fall a bit flat, and that's okay. Right, we're DNFing this one. Guys, I can't do it. This character, the main character, is just so immature. Like, I literally got to maybe page like 45. She said piss fart like 4 times. She just constantly spits at people that she doesn't like. She literally has tantrums like a child. Like, she's supposed to be this 100... well, she's 99 years old. And she's literally... I can't do it. And I was just like, for God's sake, I can't DNF another book in this vlog. Like, I can't do it. We've had a DNF, we've had a 2.5. Like, I can't do this again. But I went onto Goodreads, I read some other reviews, and literally everyone is saying the same. The main character is just insufferable, piss fart. Apparently later on in the book, she uses the word turd like 25 times. Like, I was not doing it to myself. I am not doing it to myself. There's too many books I want to read, and I'm not doing it. And it takes a lot for me to DNF a book. I used to never DNF. Even if I wasn't enjoying, I would persevere. Like, even in this vlog, like the last book, I was enjoying it and then I stopped enjoying it. I went the way through and it was a 2.5 star. Most people would have probably just DNF'd it. But I was like, I'm 3/4 of the way through, I'm doing it. I can't. If I'm not enjoying myself now after like 45, 50 pages in, I'm not doing it anymore. There's too many books I want to read. And I'm really trying not to feel bad for DNFing books. Like, how do you guys go about it? Do you DNF books? Do you persevere? Like, I literally just watched a Steph Loves vlog as well. I DNF'd this and I went upstairs and I just watched some telly, and I will literally, in the vlog, Steph Loves DNF'd a book. And she said, and I think this is how I need to start thinking about it, at least it's off my TBR either way. I've got 3 books off my TBR so far this weekend. 2 of them are DNFs, yeah, but I don't DNF very often. And I go through a spate of DNFing a lot. So like last year, again, it was like Fairyloot books. It was like Belladonna, One Dark Window, Dowry of Blood, DNF'd them all, didn't like them. I'm not doing it to myself anymore, guys. I'm not doing it. And I'm not going to feel bad. I just feel bad that this vlog is just full of disappointment. Apart from, I am enjoying the Abby Jimenez Part of Your World. Like, I am really enjoying that one. So that's something. I am going to enjoy a book in this vlog. If I have to carry this over to like another weekend, I bloody will. Like, honestly, like, and I feel like as well, sorry, back to this book, I feel like Fairyloot are really not getting it right with, or maybe not Fairyloot, but publishers are not getting it right with what's adult and YA. Like, this should be a YA. The Curse of Saints that I just read, that should have been a YA. They were both in the adult box. Like, they should be YA. And there's nothing wrong with YA. I loved YA. We're not in a good space, me and YA right now. We're not having a good time. Why are publishers so afraid to class things as YA when they should be? Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I have gone through my Fairyloot pile and I've picked one that I am confident in. When this arrived, I really wanted to read this. And that is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I read These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I really enjoyed it. This is her adult debut, and it's a Antony and Cleopatra retelling. And I've heard good things. So let's read the synopsis. For those of you who don't know. Every year, thousands flock to San Ir, the dangerously dense capital twin cities of the Kingdom of Tallinn, where the palace hosts a set of deadly games. Those confident in their ability to jump between bodies can enter a fight to the death for the chance to win unimaginable riches. Princess Kala Tuolimi has been in hiding for 5 years, ever since she murdered her parents to free the people of Tallinn from her tyrannical family. Ooh, sounds good. Only one person stands in her way of finishing the job, her reclusive uncle, King Kassa. However, she knows he always greets the victor of the games. If she wins, she'll finally get the chance to kill him. Enter Anton Makusa, whose childhood love has lain in a coma since they were both ousted from the palace. He's deep in debt trying to keep her alive, which means his last chance at saving her is entering the games and winning. When Anton proposes an unexpected alliance with Kala, they quickly find their partnership spiralling into something all-consuming. But before the games close, Kala must decide what she's playing for, her lover or her kingdom. For no matter what, only one of them can walk out alive. Guys, this sounds really good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this for half an hour, see how I feel, have my tea, and then I think I'm going to finish the evening with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Hey guys, it's now Sunday evening and I have just finished Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Guys, we're turning this vlog around. I loved this one. 5 stars. I loved it. I loved Alexis and Daniel's relationship. Like, Daniel is such a sweetie, and considering that the sort of age gap is mentioned on the blurb, it does play a part in their relationship, obviously, but it's not like the reason. You know, there's the third act breakup. That's not the reason. The reason for the third act breakup is the fact that their lives are so different. Like, he lives in a small town. They don't even have like a sort of A&E department or like a doctor's clinic. They have to drive, like, I think it's like an hour away. And she lives in like the big city. She's got an expensive car. She's she's an ER doctor, and her family puts a lot of pressure on her to continue their legacy in the hospital. There's always a Montgomery in the hospital kind of thing, despite it not being what she wants. I also really, not enjoyed, that's the wrong word, but I appreciated the fact that abuse, both physical and emotional abuse, played a big part in this story. We had a side character who is experiencing physical and emotional abuse in their relationship, and I really liked how Alexis was trying to help her and trying to explain to Daniel how, you know, she can't just leave. It's not that simple. We also have Alexis, who is the victim of emotional abuse from her ex-partner Neil. And then Alexis can see that her mother is also a victim of emotional abuse from her father, which obviously Alexis also is as well. Her father is very manipulative and very, well, she says sort of near the end, like, he says something to her and she's sort of like, oh, he's, you know, dragging me down again. He's making me feel like I'm not good enough. And her father would rather, you know, he cuts the sun off. He doesn't see Alexis because Alexis is doing what makes her happy. And I'm just also really glad that her mum does kind of come around to Alexis. Like, obviously the mother has been the victim of emotional abuse for years and years and years at this point. And it is obviously very hard to come out of that cycle, especially when you've been in it for so long. And I'm glad Alexis was sort of understanding. Like, obviously she said that her mother has enabled her father's behaviour towards his children, which she is correct. You know, her mother is a victim, but she's also enabled her father to be like this. But I appreciated that Alexis was sort of understanding and like wanted her mum to break out on her own path, like her own way. I don't know if I'm really wording that right. But yeah, I really appreciated how physical and emotional abuse was presented in this book. And yeah, I love the tiny goat. I loved, what's his name? Kevin Bacon the pig. I love Kevin Bacon the pig. I loved this one, guys. And I'm definitely going to be getting a copy for myself to lend out to people. I loved this one. I loved it. We're finally turning the vlog around. So yeah, finished that one. 5 stars. And then before I finished that one, I did make it 45 pages through Immortal Longings. The book's downstairs, so I've just got the dust jacket. There's not too much to say about it, but I am enjoying that one so far. So for the first 45 pages, we've just been introduced to the main characters. And we've also had a brief explanation about the body jumping that is able to be done in this world. And then the games are literally just starting. Like, she's literally just got the chip in her sort of, not a watch, but like her kind of watch. I think I'll explain it a bit better when I've read a bit more. But yeah, I am enjoying that one so far. So we are turning this vlog around. We are having a success. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow when I've read a bit more. Hi guys, so it's now Monday morning and I have read the first 120 pages of Immortal Longings. You can't see it because it's in my book sleeve, but I've got the, it doesn't really matter. I'm really enjoying this one so far. So I read the first 45 pages last night before I had my tea, just to like check the book out, as I wasn't having much success with the Fairyloot books. I'm really enjoying this one, so I'm really glad I've picked this one up. So we're following 3 characters. Princess Calla, who is obviously the exiled princess. She killed all her family and tried to kill her uncle the king, and she's been not exiled, but they've said that she's dead, so she's been like hiding out in the city. And then we follow Anton, who's Prince Anton. He's the current king's nephew, so Calla's cousin, and he's planning on taking down the king, and he's now teamed up with Calla. So he's going to help Calla win the game so she can kill the king, and then he can become the king, and then he'll pardon her for everything she's done. And then we're also following a character called Anton, who is partaking in the games to win. So we've got 2 in the games, 1 outside of the game, but he's influencing the game. And then we've also got another storyline that we've just started exploring with the more political aspects of this world, where another kingdom is trying to sort of infiltrate their kingdom. And we've just gone to a village where there's been sort of an attempted rebellion, and we're hearing more about this other kingdom. I'm being a bit vague because I don't want to like spoil anything, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. The characters have got really interesting backstories. The game started within the first 50 pages, so we didn't hang around waiting for them. And the games are also really interesting. It's definitely like Hunger Games-esque style, but imagine the Hunger Games just like took place in like the capital, and like innocent civilians kind of get caught up in it. And obviously you've got the body jumping aspect, so we've had a bit where like outside of the games where the prince has jumped into the head of the rebellion's body to like disarm him in a way. So that's really interesting how it's being used, and it is actually illegal, but everyone just does it and they just don't seem to care. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. I'm hoping to get this one finished today. I mean, it is a very fast-paced read. Like I said, the games started in the first 45 pages and I'm 120 pages in, so I should be able to get this one done, if not mostly done today. But yeah, really enjoying this one so far, and I'll check back in with you guys later. Hey guys, so it's now Monday, sort of late afternoon, and I have now finished Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This one, 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one. This is exactly what I needed after such a sort of after a bit of a challenging reading weekend. This one, I don't really know what to say without spoiling it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's extremely fast paced, like I said earlier. There's a lot of twists and turns throughout this book, especially near the end. And I have to say the last 20 pages were just wild. And I'm really looking forward to the next book in this series, which I think comes out in September this year. I've also got to read her other series. I think it's Foul Lady Fortune, which is I think it's a continuation of the These Violent Delights series. So I'm definitely going to try and check that one out soon. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. So yeah, just to sort of recap this weekend, we had 2 fantastic reads, Part of Your World and Immortal Longings. Then we had a 2.5, Curse of Saints, not really that great. And then we had the 2 DNFs. So despite the fact that, you know, the weekend started out a bit rocky, I am glad I have managed to get 5 books off of my TBR. Even if I didn't read or didn't finish 2 of them, they're off the TBR and they're gone. So yeah, I would say that is a pretty successful reading vlog regardless of the star ratings. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. And please leave me a comment down below. Have you read any of these books and did you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know what you think. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!